Previously. Can I say that again? Previously on The Ford Show.
This, of course, is the first Thanksgiving since the election that happened earlier this month. And there's going to be some Trumpers and some never Trumpers fighting at the dinner table tomorrow. It is going to be interesting. Politics is the one thing that can separate families. Not even football rivalries can separate families like politics seems to do nowadays. It's the strangest shit. Strange. So weird. I would never let politics get in the way of being friends with somebody. I don't know how you people do it. I really don't. But there are going to be households across the country that are coming together for the first time since the election. Just remember that all politicians hate you. And there's no reason to fight with your family who loves you, because politicians don't love you. Whether it's the orange guy or it's the bitch, they don't love you. Family, they love you. So don't fight with grandpa because he's not a liberal. Don't fight with your sister because she's a liberal. Just let it go. It's over. No reason to shove the win in their face. They probably cried already. And there's no reason to be angry because your side lost. It's okay. All politicians hate you anyway. They hate me. They hate everybody. So don't turn your back on your loved ones over politics.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Sands Hotel proudly presents the star of our show, direct from the bar.
Welcome to the Ford Show. I'm Ford. Joey Vegas is back from his 8th vacation of the year, his 7th cruise. He has 4 COVID variants, and he's here tonight because he just adores this podcast. Joey Vegas, welcome back.
Yeah, me being sick isn't going to stop me from doing this podcast and affecting everybody in the studio loft, Boogie Down Jones.
Yeah, you are. We're very close to each other.
You're on my lap. It
I
just
already
looks
have.
different.
I can already feel that I have 2 of their COVID 4 variants.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here, as always. And I'm glad, even though you're under the weather, you are still here doing this show with me tonight. You know what, Joey Vegas? You may have 4 COVID variants, but you know what you do have that some don't? Life.
I mean, at least I think so.
You are alive. And that is more.
Yep, I still got a pulse.
And that is more than what Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, can say, as he was shot multiple times, dead in Midtown Manhattan. Apparently, killing healthcare CEOs is like a thing. I didn't even know this was a thing.
I guess. I didn't even think about it.
But they have the shooter's face. And I'm assuming, Joey Vegas, that they're going to, it's just a matter of time before either they catch this guy alive or they catch this guy dead.
Yeah, it's one of those cases that it's not just some random person, right? If you and I get gunned down in the middle of Manhattan, nobody really gives a shit, right? But this is a high-profile case. This is the CEO of a major company. Whether you like him or not, it's a high-profile case, and it's in New York. We all know New York gets a lot of shit for their crime statistics. So you know 1PP, which is what they call the police plaza, one police plaza. You're welcome, I know that. They're breathing down these people's necks. FBI, CIA, whatever initials you want. This guy will get caught at some point. Just because of a 1 minute fuck up?
Yeah, when you talking about when he pulled his mask down, or are you talking about when he blew away the guy with a silencer gun?
Well, no, he didn't fuck that up. He accomplished that. He fucked up by pulling his mask down.
The words delay and depose were found on live round and shell casing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing to do.
Delay and depose. What delay? I know what delay is, but depose.
What does it mean? Authorities also found a phone and a bottle of water that may have been dropped by the gunman. Police were able to get one fingerprint off the water bottle, but it's smudged. But they do have this guy flirting with some chick at a hostel on New York's Upper West Side. We see his face. His face has now been all over the news. it's just a matter of time, right? Before somebody turns him in, before we get a name.
Well, his family. No, I mean, it's not just New York thing, right? It's a United States thing. It's all over every news.
And it comes out that he traveled to New York from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he's not even a New Yorker who came to do this.
No,
He's from out of town. He's an out-of-towner.
Some Georgian.
Some tourist.
Yeah. And and also he shot him in the back. Like, how cowardly is that?
What a chicken shit move.
Yeah, call him. Hey, Brian. What? Bam, right in the head.
That's what you would have done.
That's what I would have done.
If you were going to kill.
If I was going to kill
a CEO
of a healthcare company. Yeah. I mean, at least face to face. A little better, I guess.
I guess the dirt on this Thompson guy is, I believe I saw that he's being investigated by the Department of Justice.
Yeah, something like that.
Some kind of insider trading gimmick.
So do you think that Brian Thompson hired this guy
to kill him?
Well,
boy, that would be a twist.
Well, yeah, because now his wife gets all the insurance money.
Yeah.
I'm sure the guy had insurance.
Probably really good insurance.
Yeah, life insurance.
He lives in Minnesota, eh?
Yeah, plus he's worth a lot of money in general.
Yeah.
And if he's being investigated, because if he's being investigated, they shoot him, he's dead. Well, now they don't investigate the wife.
So this guy took a Greyhound, and the company said they are fully cooperating with authorities on this active investigation. Of course. Police believe the gunman arrived in New York City on November 24, 10 days before the shooting.
So he had a little time to sightsee.
He arrived at the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan and then went to the hostel. After that, he appears to move around the city. He checked into the hostel on November 29. He checked back into the hostel on November 30. He paid for the hostel in cash, according to the official. He checked into the hostel on Manhattan's Upper West Side using a fake New Jersey driver's license. That will be a tack on crime.
Yep.
They'll tack that on for good measure. Among the interviews they've been conducting, law enforcement interviewed a female employee at the hostel who said at one point she asked the masked man to lower his mask while flirting with him, which is when the photos released by the New York Police Department today were captured.
See, the one moment
you put your mask down and now you're caught.
You're fucked. Because you're flirting with some chick that works there? You didn't see all the cameras there, buddy?
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah. In a hostel, you're not supposed to have cameras.
Can't get away with anything anymore.
Can't, no.
Especially if you're going to do something at this kind of level.
Yeah, magnitude, yeah.
If you're killing somebody at this level, you have to be 100% perfect. All the I's dotted, all the T's crossed, but here's the problem. It's human error.
Yep.
And this guy thought with his penis for just 3 seconds. And it's going to be the decision that gets him caught.
Yes. Most likely, yes.
Now, let me ask you this, Joey Vegas. You're a betting man.
I am.
By next Thursday, when we record this show, as we do it right now, it is December 5. Next Thursday will be December 12. Is this guy caught in a week? Now, this is day 2 of the manhunt, but it seems like they're closing in. At least they're making some progress. So, is he caught, dead or alive, a week from today?
I would say yes.
I would lean that way as well. I think that would be the favorite.
Because if they didn't have his face, if they're like, we don't know who this person is, we don't have his face, then I would probably say no. But because they have his face, because they know he traveled from the Atlanta area by Greyhound, and the bus terminals have cameras, so unless he was wearing his mask down there too, which he probably did, if he was smart, he would have. Yeah, he's probably going to be caught one way or the other, dead or alive.
So they're looking for the gray backpack.
Yeah.
Because the backpack in the video footage at the hostel, he's got a black backpack.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, he brought 2 backpacks. But he is wearing the same hooded coat deal. the hooded jacket.
You should probably ditch that.
I would assume that he would, but they haven't found the jacket or the backpack. They're definitely looking for the backpack.
Because I would think, because they know he came in on bus. So either A, he didn't have a lot of money, and he also stayed at a hostel, which I guess makes sense. Because if you stay at a hotel, you got to give him a credit card.
Yeah.
So they're going to know exactly
and
who
he's
you are.
using a fake New Jersey driver's license.
So but you come from Georgia on a bus, so he didn't fly, but he could have flew yesterday because they didn't know who he was yesterday.
No, he didn't fly. Oh, you mean
fly out?
But I guess he could have flew out.
I'm just trying to think if I killed someone and I knew they were going to come for me, and I didn't think about my mask at the time, right? Because your adrenaline's pumping. He probably doesn't even until now. He probably sees it on TV.
Well, apparently, he was waiting all night for this guy.
He really wanted to kill this guy.
People saw him in the area all night and all morning,
and nobody called the cops.
And there's video footage of him being. But that type of stuff happens all the time in Manhattan.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know. And you're not thinking
the guy's going to kill someone.
The guy's going to kill someone.
Yeah.
And he's not technically breaking the law.
No.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you would stop and frisk and found they had a handgun with a silencer on it. That would have been a red flag.
Probably.
But he's also a white guy. So stop and frisk doesn't really apply to white people.
That's true.
Most of the time.
You did say that they know where he got the gun too?
I saw earlier that the gun was purchased in Connecticut.
Okay.
But they don't know if he's the one who purchased it. Now, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
Do we know when he purchased it?
Hold that. No. I think if they knew when, they would know who, right?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to piece the things together in my mind.
You're doing detective work right now.
I'm doing some detective work. So he left Atlanta or Georgia. We don't know if he's from there or not.
No.
Because he didn't have a license. He had a fake license from New Jersey. So this dude planned this out, right? Like different parts of the country. He bought the gun in Connecticut, or the gun was purchased in Connecticut. So either he did, or he found it, or he got a drug dealer to, I don't know. Usually you would just go to someplace and probably get what do they call, throwaway gun?
I'm looking to verify that. I could be off base.
Okay. So right now he's took a bus from Georgia somewhere.
We
Atlanta.
know that. We knew he took a Greyhound. Let's not do the gun thing yet because I'm not 100% on that.
So we know he did that. We know he has a fake New Jersey license that he checked into the hostel with. He paid in cash. He took his face mask down for 20 seconds to try to flirt with this girl. And now he's on the run. If I was doing it, I would know that they're going to get either my face or they're going to know who I am at some point real quick. I would, because once they know who this guy is, he won't be able to get on a plane, a bus, subway. He won't be able to get on anywhere.
He might be able to hitchhike.
Maybe.
That's about it.
That's it. So I would probably try to get out of there as soon as possible. Go to Mexico. Go to Colombia. Go somewhere. That's no extradition. That way they can't bring you back. But this guy might have not had any money. So I don't know.
Oh, it says here the gun does not have a silencer, but rather a long barrel that enables the 9mm to fire a nearly silent shot.
Oh, so it's not a silencer, but it acts like a silencer.
Correct.
Okay. Either way.
He was thoroughly prepared, except, like I said, for that 3 seconds there, he thought with his wiener, he took his mask down. See, the penis will get you.
Every time.
Now, there's only been a $10,000 reward is being offered for information.
Yeah, that's from the NYPD, I think, or the FBI.
If you know this guy, you need a little more than 10 G's to turn your boy in.
If he's your boy, yeah.
Yeah, if you're not going to add another 0 to that number, I need a 5 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of 5s.
So, like, for you, if you did this, and I was like, that's Ford. I know who that is. And it was only 10 grand, I don't think I'd turn you in.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
100 grand? Maybe.
Yeah, 100 grand you're turning me in.
Probably.
Because that'll probably wipe out any debt you have.
That's probably true.
It'll pay off your car.
That's true.
You're turning me in for 100 G's.
But if it's,
because I would turn you in for 100 G's. So you better turn me in for 100 G's.
But if it's someone from like work or Starbucks that you just know, or somebody around the neighborhood, or somebody you grew up with, I would turn him in for 10 grand. I don't know about you, but I would, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, 10 grand to turn in somebody I barely know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See ya.
Just an acquaintance.
Yeah. Like I know who this is. It's blah 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 blah.
10 G's, I'm turning you in.
He likes to spend his time up on the Upper West Side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're definitely gonna turn you in.
I would be shocked if he's still in New York, though.
You think he got out of Dodge?
I think he got out. Wouldn't
Well,
you?
he sure as hell didn't go back to the hostel.
No shit. But
Yeah, he'd have to.
He'd have to get out of Dodge.
I think they're gonna. Look,
They'll find him, but I think he got out of Dodge.
Yeah, he'll sense that they're closing in because he'll watch Twitter, he'll watch Instagram, he'll watch the damn news on TV.
Yeah.
And he'll know that they're starting to close in, and he'll probably just kill himself, which would be unfortunate because us, the general public, and this guy's wife and his kids, what we want to know now is why. That's the only question we want answered. Why?
Yeah.
And it's going to probably be something to do with some kind of healthcare. Because I think if he was an employee of United Healthcare, if he was an angry employee,
he would have just went in the whole thing.
No. What I was going to say is we would already know his name.
Oh.
And we would have a lot more information if they figured out that this guy was a United Healthcare employee.
Because that's
who
probably
was angry.
That's probably the first thing they did was go to their employee database.
Yeah.
That's probably the first thing they did of people that were recently fired in the last 6 months, or people that, because the CEO, his wife did say that the CEO was getting threats.
And I also read, again, this could be off. I saw it on Twitter that there was some kind of bomb threat in Minnesota at his house 12 hours beforehand, but they don't know if these two instances are related.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Again, I saw this on Twitter. You can no longer judge Twitter accounts by the blue check anymore because I got a blue check. Okay.
It's a gold check now.
Oh, the gold check is the one that proves that you're somebody. Yeah. Mine's a blue one so that we can post videos there. So
yeah,
we're banking by next week we have an answer.
And
that's what we're thinking.
And what are these people? I've seen people on TikTok and Twitter. Oh, we support the killing of healthcare CEOs and he deserved to die.
Oh, what's her face said that? Lorenz or whatever.
Yeah, Taylor Lorenz. Yeah. She's
that
crazy.
Cunt.
She also started a wedding and had people mask up at her wedding in 2024. Not her wedding, but somebody else's wedding. Yeah, she's a nut job. But the guy, regardless of his work, the guy had a family. He had a wife. He has kids. Okay, they lost a father and a husband, like a brother.
Son.
Yeah. Why be like, oh yeah, thank God he's dead? Because here's the thing. He's dead. Okay, in a week, a month, a year, I don't know. There's going to be another CEO, and they're going to do the same shit.
Exactly.
So you killing him does nothing.
It literally will do nothing to the business of United Healthcare.
No,
they're still going to gouge you,
yes.
And they're still going to fuck you or try to fuck you when you need to use your insurance.
Yes,
that is embedded in the system.
Yes,
that is just how it is.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change because you whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies. Because guess what? You didn't whack the Kaiser Permanente's CEO.
Yeah.
And all the other Cigna, you didn't whack him.
Yeah, the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, which I think they're all the same thing. You didn't clip any of those guys or girls. You clipped one CEO, and they're going to replace him in a month.
Yeah. That's just like if you go assassinate a leader of a country. Okay, well, there's somebody else that's going to take his place, and your shit's not going to get better.
There you go.
At the end of the day, what this guy didn't help anything other than killing one less person on this planet.
A couple, and I'm going to let you guess, Joey Vegas, what state this was in.
Okay.
A couple was slapped with felony charges after allegedly performing a home circumcision with a utility tool. And surprisingly, it did not go as planned. What state am I? I'm even going to give you a clue. I'm going to help you out.
Yeah,
It was not a couple of the greatest hit states. It was not Ohio,
Okay.
and it was not Florida.
All right. Circumcision.
A home circumcision gone wrong.
Ooh.
It's in the Midwest.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
Of course.
that's Iowa.
Missouri.
Damn it.
Or as locals call it, Missouri.
That was my second choice.
Tyler Wade Gibson allegedly performed the ghastly procedure the night of November 27 with the utility tool after sharpening the blade, laying down pads, and reciting a blessing.
On himself?
Gibson has no medical background, said he had conducted his own research before the DIY surgery, according to court documents, which he said that the procedure, get this, did not go as planned. Gibson was allegedly taken off guard once the child, whose identity and age were redacted from the court docs, began to bleed profusely and was rushed to the local medical center, Lake Regional Hospital. The child was subsequently transferred to University Hospital, where he was treated by a urologist and hospitalized.
Are we sure it's a he?
They did put the pronoun he in there.
Okay.
Now, the woman is Bailey Alexis Gibson. She's also been charged with child abuse, as she should be. The court document said Gibson left the hospital against medical advice. Department of Social Services, imagine, they're not happy. They notified police on Thanksgiving of a child who had undergone a circumcision at home after a university hospital staffer reported the incident on an emergency hotline. Gibson was charged with child abuse and practicing medicine without a license, both felonies. Each count has a maximum prison sentence of 7 years. Gibson's wife, Bailey, also charged with felony child abuse. It's unclear if the couple has representation. Chances are they don't. The court documents state that police were unable to find the utility tool Gibson used to perform the procedure after he claimed he left it in his room on top of a frame. A deputy did report that they noticed an open box of gauze on Gibson's bed during a search of the home. So when they say utility tool, are they talking about those little knives that you push the button down and slide it up and then the blade comes out?
I'm assuming that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they call it a box cutter or a utility knife? Because a utility tool,
referring to it as a utility tool.
So they have utility tools, you know, the
corkscrew,
yes,
and all
like
that.
Yeah, the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what. So the utility tool is that numerous things in one. So it was not a.
First of all, you should have used, if you're going to do this, you should have used a box cutter. Or a knife, not a utility tool, because I don't know if those knives are sharp enough to do anything. Obviously, they're sharp enough to bleed somebody. But
what makes you even want to do this?
And how old is this kid?
They never said the.
Because usually you get circumcised when you're a baby.
I'm assuming he's not 9.
I figured not.
There is no number. Like I said, they redacted the age and the name because he's a kid.
Yeah, but you could say the age, couldn't you?
True. I guess they could say the age. I wonder why they didn't say the age. It would help us be able to laugh about this story more if we had the age.
Yeah, because
But we're going to assume it's a toddler.
Yeah, a toddler. Probably 2 or 3, maybe.
Don't you get that done like in the hospital?
When you're a baby.
After the baby's born?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think you take the baby home without.
No, you do it before.
Are you circumcised?
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't look like a little turtle coming out of its shell?
No. And you do it when you're, I don't know as a baby, but you do it before you leave the hospital, I think.
Yeah. Is there
or very close? I know Jewish people do it a little later.
They have a whole thing because I saw it on Seinfeld.
A bris and everything.
Yes.
So they do it a little later.
People are not Jewish.
Yeah. But even if they were Jewish, they shouldn't be doing it themselves.
No, you have a trained person that you hire.
Trained circumciser.
Yeah. That's the medical term too. Circumciser.
Yeah.
And he brings his circumcision tool.
It's like a late night infomercial.
He doesn't use a utility tool.
Buy one, get one free circumcisers today only.
which I'm looking at the picture, and yeah, they're little, it looks like a knife, but it opens up and it does all kinds of things.
Yeah, corkscrew,
Yeah.
can opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never owned a utility knife because I don't do anything with my hands except get out the money to pay the guy who just came over to do the work.
Yeah.
I don't buy utility tools. That's exactly what it is. And at home, if you would have told me when I asked the question, I'm not circumcised, my next idea was going to be next week on the show, we should perform the first ever podcast circumcision.
Yeah.
And you'll just sign documents that say that I can't get arrested for it.
Yeah.
And then we'll just chop off some foreskin.
Yeah, no.
That's what they're chopping off, right?
Yes.
Foreskin.
Yeah, but you have to do it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cutting. I wouldn't want you to be like, hey,
I would have never.
Oh, your finger looks a little. Oh, let's chop it off. No, there's
Yeah.
some skin here. I wouldn't want you touching anything.
No, I look, I've never even thought about doing home circumcisions until I saw this article.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is right up the Ford Show alley here. An at-home circumcision gone awry. Now, what we don't know is, did they cut off some sides? Does this kid have an uphill battle?
I would think.
No, right?
No, I would
They
think
just cut off
think they
skin.
tried to cut the skin and it started bleeding, and the kid probably started screaming because the kid doesn't have any freaking anesthesia.
I hate kids. Can you just imagine?
We don't know if Blue Cross and Blue Shield's going to cover the anesthesia for the kid, but
only as long as it doesn't go more than 3 hours.
yeah, then he's good.
But no, kids, there's nothing worse than a kid crying. The worst sound
it is
ever.
Most annoying sound in the world.
It's just as bad as when a dog whines. That dog whine makes me appreciate that I will never own a dog. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That hideous whine.
Yes.
Okay, well, a baby crying makes me want to just leave the room. Or if I'm on an airplane, jump.
Yeah.
And
Airplane's the worst because you can't go anywhere to get away from it.
Can you imagine the blood curdling screams that this kid must have been? He's getting his foreskin cut off by his own parents who don't know what they're doing because they're using a utility tool.
Yeah, I feel bad for this kid. And another thing, how does the maximum sentence only 7 years per count?
Yeah, you got to put this guy away for at least 15.
Because he's if anything, because he's a dumbass.
Oh, this guy shouldn't be out and about.
No,
he definitely shouldn't be raising any children.
No, I mean, I understand that he wasn't trying to kill the kid or harm the kid in theory, but he's just a dumbass.
Oh, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever read.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna use a utility tool, and my son's gonna get circumcised. I'm gonna circumcise him because we don't have insurance.
Look, to have one of them bring up the idea and the other one to not go, maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, you got two morons here. This poor kid was set up for failure.
Yeah,
because his parents are both. If I said, hey, we should circumcise our son, and then at least have the mother go, let's not do that. The mother's, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That's my big thing. We have two bird brains here.
And then he researched it. Where on the web, I'm sure you can find how to circumcise somebody, but what I want to know his reason just as much as I want to know the United Healthcare CEO murderer, why he did it. I want to know why this guy did it. What was it like? Oh, I don't have insurance, so I can't afford it. Was it, we want to get him circumcised now, even though he's 4? Like, I want to know.
So when you Google how to do an at-home circumcision,
yes,
Google's first thing is circumcision is a procedure that should be performed by a medical professional in a sterile environment, such as an operating theater. There's no record of how many circumcisions are performed at home, and complications can occur outside of a hospital setting. So there really isn't directions. There's directions on how you would do one or how one is done, but no one's going to recommend you doing one of these at home.
No. Does it, if you Google their names, does it show pictures, mugshots yet, or no?
Oh, yeah, I got their pictures.
Do they look like normally you would
They
think
look like trash.
Okay.
They look like people that would perform at-home circumcisions.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In Missouri. We've talked about on this show many times, almost ad nauseum. And I've challenged anybody that's ever listened to this show to prove me wrong. You can't, because I'm not talking from opinion. I'm talking cold, hard facts. The numbers are there. And what I'm talking about is you are more likely to be killed by someone than by a complete stranger. Of course, it's ironic that we're talking about, we let in with this Brian Thompson thing, who was clearly killed by somebody he didn't know.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
We don't know that for a fact, but probably
yes.
He did not know. Now, what we have next here, and what we're going to talk about to wrap up this show, is two stories where that is the case. A Florida man shot his own brother dead in a spat over
Germany.
Close. Over a car. A Florida man fatally shot his own brother during a heated exchange over a car before turning the gun on himself to avoid spending the rest of his life behind bars. And we know this because their mother witnessed all of it, and that is what she said.
They both died?
They're both dead. Anthony and Robert Coyle got into a fiery spat at their Spring Hill home on November 29, when Robert accused his 39-year-old sibling, Anthony, of using his car too much. Okay. The deadly sibling rivalry, which unfolded in front of the mother, escalated when Anthony, who was the one who was being accused of using Robert's car too much, grabbed a gun and shot his brother dead. Police responded to the home after the gunman called 911 to report the killing, explaining that he placed the murder weapon in a bedroom and would wait outside of the home for deputies to arrive. Instead, Anthony turned the gun on himself after telling his mother he didn't want to spend his life in prison for the murder.
I don't think he would spend the rest of his life in prison.
Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. Police ruled the incident a classic murder-suicide, which is something that this country just cannot help themselves with committing. So
you could argue it was a crime of passion.
Over a car?
Driving a car?
I think passion is, it's got to be some
like
romance.
Heat of the moment. Like,
you guys are brothers.
Well, yeah, but heat of the moment. But like, when have you, I've been in some heated arguments with people. But when do you say, you know what, I'm going to go get a gun and shoot you?
Well, this is why you probably shouldn't have guns in the house. Probably. If you have tempers.
Yeah, but
like these guys, this is not the first time these two probably have gotten into a spat like
oh,
this.
They're brothers. They probably get into spats all the time.
But
did.
But nicely done.
Yep.
But we're talking about these guys come from, I would assume that they will come from a long line of, or they have a history of, or they have a past of getting heated, getting mad. They're two guys in their 30s at least, and they still live with their mother. So these guys aren't exactly the best contributing members of society. So in all honesty, we wiped out a couple of social security numbers that weren't going to do a whole lot anyway, or at least hadn't done a whole lot for the first 39 years.
Yeah.
But something tells me that this is not an isolated incident. Because if you get into an argument with your brother over a car and your first reaction, or any on the number list, doesn't have to be the first, it could be the second or third or the fourth, but if one of your reactions is to grab a gun and shoot him dead, we have a history of either violence or anger or something. There's the wire that was not connected.
He's accusing you of driving the car too much.
Yeah.
and then I'm going to kill you. I'm going to go get the gun and shoot you.
That's the answer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
we're
that
dealing with guys that are not.
Yeah. Because I've never thought about killing someone over an argument, let alone my brother. I don't have one, but if I did.
Now, I will tell the story of it was 2001. Yeah, because that was the year the Giants lost in the Super Bowl to the Ravens. It was 2001.
Not September 11th.
No.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I mean,
Yeah. So it's 2001. I got a brand new car. Not purchased by myself. I was 18. My brand new car was bought for me by my grandfather. And my buddy, myself, a couple of girls, 3 or 4 girls, drinking.
3 or 4 girls.
Yeah, we were outnumbered. Yeah. We were drinking. We were fucked up. And
you were driving.
No.
Oh.
Let Ford tell the story. And I go to sleep with this one chick that I was kind of seeing at the time.
Like sleep or
yeah, no, I'm just way too blitzed to do anything like that.
Got it.
So I'm laying down. I send my buddy to drop off the other 2 girls, right? In my car. So I will never forget this because it was the first time I truly realized how quickly you sober up when you get angry. And I was laying in bed. The room was dark. I was going to sleep. And all of a sudden, the light went on. And my friend said, she just threw up all on the inside of your car. And I said, what? And I shot out of it. I'm not going to give the one girl's name out, but he said her name. She just threw up all over the inside of your car. And I to this day, I don't think I've ever moved faster, and I've been in a couple of earthquakes, than I did when he said that girl just threw up in my car. And I said, did she clean it? And he said, no. I said, oh, no, she's cleaning it. And him and I got in my car. I drove back over to her house, and I sent the text, come outside. You're cleaning the car. She comes outside with her friend. I'm not fucking cleaning it. I grabbed this broad by the collar of her jacket and I pulled her to me. And I said, you're going to clean my fucking car and you're cleaning it right now. Get in. Her and her friend got in. We drove to the 24-hour do-it-yourself car wash and she cleaned my car at 3:00 in the morning.
We're all still fucked up.
I was sober at that point.
Wow, sober, but
you sobered up kind of quickly. Yes, I would have failed a breathalyzer test,
yeah.
But I didn't feel drunk anymore.
No, I know because your
was
adrenaline's running.
Oh, the adrenaline was running wild, and that's as close as I've gotten to killing somebody over a car. Now, if I would have shown up and put a bullet in her head, that would be the equivalent of what this guy did to his own brother.
Yeah.
For driving the car too much, or being accused of driving the car too much.
Because obviously the one brother didn't have a car because he's using his other brother's car.
Anthony didn't have a car, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're 2 dudes in their 30s that are still living at home with their mother. Chances are they did everyone a favor down there in Florida.
Yeah, we didn't lose two
contributing members of society.
Yeah.
Like we did Brian Thompson. At least he was contributing.
Yeah.
And it is our cover art, and then we're going to get to Joey Vegas's picks. It's our cover art for this week. Again, just to reiterate, you're more likely to be killed by someone you know than by someone you don't know. You can look this up. And what's the other lesson, Joey Vegas, that we have learned throughout the last couple of years of this show when it comes to committing a murder? What shouldn't you do after you commit a murder?
Well, after, you should not Google how to cover up a murder.
Thank you.
No.
A husband who allegedly looked up how quickly he could remarry after his wife's death is charged in her murder. A Virginia man allegedly Googled, how long does it take to get married after a spouse die before his wife disappeared, has been charged with her murder. First of all, why would you even have to Google that? I mean,
I think I need to.
If your wife dies of natural causes,
you get married in a week,
like a car wreck, a heart attack, some kind of health thing, dies from cancer, you could get married in an hour after she's dead. What?
I don't know. I don't know that answer.
She's dead. Not married anymore.
No, I know, but I think there are some things you got to work out before you can get married, because you can only marry one. Because you can only marry one person, so you'd have to submit death rec, blah blah blah. But yes, you shouldn't need to Google it.
No. So Naresh Bhatt, Bhatt, he's 37, was charged Monday with first-degree murder and physically defiling a dead body, adding to a charge that he received in August of concealing a dead body, even though authorities still have not located his wife's remains. 3 months before Mamtat Kafel Bhatt, 28. You notice how I tried to almost say that like I was like Abu for some reason?
Yeah.
3 months after Mamtat Kafel Bhatt, 28. 28-year-old girl here. Woman, I should say. She went missing. And Naresh Bhatt used his work laptop. He got his work involved.
There you go.
How long does it take to get married after your spouse die? After spouse die. I mean, he didn't really use very good, proper
English
grammar. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to Google it, though.
And then
I don't have a wife, so it's okay.
And then he Googled what happened to died spouse. So either he's just talking in keywords, or English really isn't the first language.
I would go with that one.
The latter?
Yes.
Okay. Authorities said Mamta Kafel Bhatt likely died in a bloody struggle inside the couple's home in July. Blood found in the couple's bedroom and bathroom matched Mamtat Kafel Bhatt's DNA, and an investigation revealed her body was likely dismembered. So this guy chopped up his wife. The forensic unit of Prince William County said it was one of the worst crime scenes they've seen. That was one statement they made the day after Naresh was arrested. While her body has not been recovered by authorities, Lugo said the DNA results were what prompted the two new charges. The 28-year-old has not been seen since July 29, though her husband only reported her missing on August 5. Look, another lesson to be learned here.
If you're married and you kill someone, report her missing right away.
You're legally not missing for 24 hours, right? That's like the thing. Okay. So on July 30th, he should have reported her missing, not August 5. That's 7 days later. There's 31 days in July. That's 7 days after she was last seen.
And it's not like a friend, right, that you only see once in a while. It's your wife.
It's your wife.
You should know that if she doesn't come home for a week or for 2 days, you should know something's wrong.
Naresh Bhatt, what are you doing? Prosecutors also accused Naresh Bhatt of going to Walmart on July 30 to buy 3 knives, 2 of which are missing. The next day, he was caught on surveillance footage at a different Walmart buying cleaning supplies. Authorities have said that they searched extensively for Mamta Kafel Bhatt now for months, but Lugo says they do not believe that she's alive. Searches have been done over 10. We've done grid searches with canines. In terms of search warrants and subpoenas, I think we're pushing probably 30 that we have submitted and received information on. The couple have been together for more than 3 years. Of course, they share a 1-year-old daughter, because we have to ruin a kid's life in all of these stories always, who has since been in the care of Mamta Kafel Bhatt's family. My heart is hurt, her grieving mother, Geeta Kafel, told WUSA 9 last month. She was a person who was very hardworking, very beautiful, and very honest. She aspired to be somebody great, and she worked really hard, and she could be. I don't know what to say because I can never forget her, but whenever I think about it, I have my heartache.
Yeah. You did a couple things wrong. Kufflebot or Bot or whatever his name is.
No, Narish Bhatt.
Narish Bhatt?
Her
Yeah.
name is Kuffel. That's her maiden name was Kuffel, and her married name was Bhatt.
Yeah, he screwed up a couple things. One, you shouldn't Google, and I did Google it.
I know I was going to ask you for your results as soon as you were done with this point.
I did Google it, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't Google it if you're planning on killing your wife.
Yeah.
Also, you probably shouldn't go to Walmart and buy some knives and then go back and buy cleaning supplies.
You went to a different Walmart.
Well,
To
okay.
be fair.
To be
But
fair,
yes, if you're going to buy, if the plan is I'm going to murder my wife, chop her up, and try to hide the evidence, and that is your plan, you should buy cleaning supplies before you murder her.
yes.
Months
Yes.
in advance.
Even years.
Months in advance.
Yes. Not right away. You should just, because if he went to the Walmart and bought bleach and other things 3 months before that, or 4 months or a year before that, nobody would think anything of it because
Use cash.
use cash.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, they're cleaning, whatever, bleach or knives. You could purchase a knife, a year ahead of time. Okay, whatever. But no, when you go a couple days before and then
The
a couple
week
days
of.
after,
The body's not even cold yet
Yeah.
after you chopped it up and you're going to buy stuff. Yeah, you got to be a little more prepared, Narish Bhatt. But okay, what did you find when you Googled?
so there is no set time frame for remarrying after the death of a spouse. You should wait until you feel ready to start a new chapter in your
Well,
life.
that's a normal way of thinking, yes.
Yes, but there is no. I mean, you can anytime.
Yeah, because
It's how how you feel.
yeah,
Because normally, if your spouse dies, it's a big ding. You're big ding.
a big
Big
thing.
thing. You're grieving. You're crying. You're whatever. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit, but I mean, legally, they're dead. So you're not married anymore. You're widowed or you're a widower.
Yeah.
You can just go marry whenever you want. People usually wait because usually it did say men are like a year and a half. Women are like 3.5 years to remarry.
Oh, that they
On average, they usually wait. And then obviously, if kids are involved, it probably takes a little longer because the kid lost a parent, unless they were too young to remember.
You know who else lost both of his parents? Joey Vegas. And we have Vegas's picks this week. You are 23-16.
I am.
Can we just, for one moment, just stop and appreciate the kind of year that you have had since the beginning of the NFL season? You've picked 3 teams, 3 games every week. This is now week 14.
Huh?
And you are 23-16
Yes.
on the season.
Yes.
Now that's a run.
I can lose 6 straight games and be 500.
Yeah.
It won't happen, I hope.
I hope not.
But it's going real well. I've made millions. I don't know why I'm still on the show. To be honest, I made so much money. But it is week 14, which means there's only 3 more weeks after this. That's crazy.
No, there's 4. Oh, yeah.
No, 3 weeks after this week.
Yeah, you're right.
4
you're right.
total weeks, yes.
Yeah, week 18.
Yes. And so I'm hoping to continue my streak. I went 3-0 last week. I was on the cruise. It was phenomenal. And the only thing I hated is I couldn't bet these on the cruise. Some cruise lines, they let you sports bet. This one did not. Kind of mad about that. But I did win at the casino, though, on the cruise ship. So that's good. So anyway, this is my picks for NFL Week 14. The first pick is Buffalo. They are leaving New York. They're leaving the snow and the cold, and they are heading out to the City of Lights. Los Angeles, that's right. They're facing the Rams. Buffalo is -3.5. I'm going with Buffalo. They seem to be on a roll. They're coming out to sunny Southern California, -3.5. Go with Buffalo. Now, I do have Atlanta going to Minnesota. Atlanta's kind of an up-and-down team. Minnesota, it's not a division game. I'm saying Minnesota -5.5. And then this one, I don't like big spreads, but I didn't bet big spreads, and I should have before. So Carolina is going to Philly. The Eagles are -13. I say Philly is going to cover the 13 because Carolina sucks and Philly is good. So to recap, my week 14 NFL picks: Buffalo -3.5 against the Rams, Minnesota -5.5 against Atlanta, and Carolina going to Philadelphia, and the Eagles -13. Now back to you, Ford.
Just to give you a little scoreboard update, the Lions won 34-31. 65 points, those two teams.
That's a lot.
It's nice when the weather's controlled and you're indoors, right?
Yeah.
The Ford Show came to you tonight from the MurderMyDebt.com studios. Got to get that in. Head to MurderMyDebt.com. They can help you get out of debt. They can help you with your mortgage. If you want to leave a voicemail for this show, you could do so. 917-979-3160. 917-979-3160. You can email us, FordFeedback@gmail.com. I do read every email. BuyFordMerch.com, BUY FordMerch.com. You can buy the hat that Joey Vegas is wearing on his head. Got it in black and white. You'll see it. Go there. BuyFordMerch.com. Help us spread the word. And if you want to support us financially, for as little as $3 a month, you can get this podcast ad-free. Head to our Patreon, patreon.com/Ford Podcast. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter. All of that is always at Ford Podcast as well. On Twitter, there's an underscore in between Ford and Podcast. On Instagram, there is not. On TikTok, there is not. For Joey Vegas, I'm Ford. We'll see you guys next time.
Good night, jabroni marks without a life that don't know if it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot. Marks.
See ya!